Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Heavily Contested Podcast. The
podcast where
I think we have our roles mixed up, bro.
we have our moves and stuff. But guys, guys,
It is the morning. It is the morning when we're filming. It's also Spider-Man No Way Home Day.
It's not Spider-Man No Way.
Woo!
I don't see it today.
Spider-Man No Way
I
Home
don't see it
Day.
today.
Spider-Man. Hey, that's because you didn't wait in line or you didn't wait online to get day one premiere tickets like me.
Yeah, guys. Besides Spider-Man,
No Way Home. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of. I'm getting.
we
out of
also
hand.
have football
Yes.
and basketball
To talk about.
at the same exact time. The greatest time of the year. It's about to be Christmas.
Yeah. Happy early holidays.
And if you celebrate Hanukkah,
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah. Now, we are now officially hitting week 15.
ooh,
Which
it's almost
means-
over.
Which means no more bye weeks.
Ooh,
Just 4 weeks
straight
of
football. That's why we got games on Saturdays.
Yes, it's going to be quite interesting. Now, let's talk about week 14 and what we just saw. The first one being the Ravens versus the Browns. The Cleveland Browns keep their playoff hopes alive
Yeah.
as they go and host the Ravens, and they beat them 24-22. Now, this is a Ravens team that lost Lamar Jackson early in the game.
MVP.
Early in the game. He went out, I believe it was second quarter. It's an ankle injury. We do not know how severe it is yet, like if he's going to play
He'll be back before
Sunday.
the end of the regular season.
Oh, of course. It's if anything, it's only supposed to be a week about. I think it was a high ankle sprain. But the thing is we do not know if he's going to play this upcoming Sunday.
But
Sunday.
what I saw in this game, it don't matter. Not that it don't matter. It does matter. But the Ravens could still win games without Lamar Jackson.
You think
You know why? Because they have his clone. He looks just like him. They're both black.
That's okay.
But obviously there's a huge difference between the two. Obviously. But I do feel like what I saw in the game, I'm actually very impressed with Huntley because most of the time when a backup quarterback comes in, they're not really able to do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the same time, the Browns finally getting the dub, sneaking in a little dub in there.
The defense finally came.
Yeah,
even when Lamar Jackson was in, they were still struggling.
Yeah.
That pass rush was getting to him, and the secondary is playing their tails off out there.
The Browns are very solid on defense. The struggle that the Browns have is on the other side of the ball with the Heisman winner,
Baker Mayfield.
Oklahoma, and Nick Chubb wasn't really going crazy. I don't know why he just decided this year he doesn't want to go crazy anymore.
Injuries.
Kareem Hunt also does not want to go
Injuries.
crazy anymore. They do not have Odell.
The story, actually, you know what, funny enough, the story of these two teams has been injuries.
Yeah, pretty much. Which team is not going to have players on the field that week? Which team is going to decide, you know what? I'm going to go to the weight room. I'm going to go to the rehab center. And I'm not going to get injured this week, man. So
I don't think it's a choice that they can.
I mean, I don't know. It's just these two teams, they just like injuring their players somehow.
It's just problems.
So I don't know.
So the main thing I want to take away from this game is now this AFC North has gotten really interesting. When you look at the standings now, and you look at the AFC North, the Ravens sit atop at 8-5. The Browns right behind them at 7-6, followed by Cincinnati, who's right behind them at 7-6, and then it's just Pittsburgh sitting at 6-1.
Not Harris.
Who takes this division, Travis? By
Ooh.
the end of the season, who is taking this division? Because now Cleveland's at a point now where they went from being a little scared of not even making the playoffs to possibly winning this division.
Sadly, guys, the Browns just came off a great win, but we still have this virus going around, and the Browns have been hit pretty hard by it.
Yes, the coronavirus is now taking the league by storm.
All sports by storm.
All
actually.
sports, yeah.
Yeah, and the Browns are missing a lot of players. So we're going to take the Browns out of there because they already were struggling before this. So we're going to take them out. The Bengals. Now the Bengals, we know they can play great at times. But they can also lose to these teams where you like, what the hell is wrong with you? So, once Lamar Jackson comes back, the Ravens easily are going to take this division.
Easily. I don't say easily. The reason why I don't say easily is because I do think the Ravens, actually a lot of these AFC North teams have pretty much hard schedules to finish out the season.
Pretty much.
Like looking at the Ravens ahead, we're going to talk about the Packers game that they got this Sunday. Then they got the Bengals, which we know the Bengals aren't any pushover now. And also they have the Rams right after that.
Wait.
See,
I'm gonna save it for later. But
okay, but the thing is I think the only way the Ravens win this division or possibly even make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs.
Well, remember this is a very competitive AFC now, where the Browns are sitting at 7-6 and don't feel like they're super close to being in contention right now. It feels like it's anybody's game. When you look at the standings, everybody in that AFC is sitting at 7-6 or higher, pretty much. Denver's at 7-6. Cincinnati's at 7-6. Buffalo's at 7-6. Indianapolis is 7-6. It can go either way. You know what I mean? Which means that the Ravens could easily drop out of the playoffs. Should they not win the division? Because it's just very competitive. Like Buffalo went from a point of leading the division to now sitting at the 7 seed,
and barely,
possibly not even making the playoffs at this point.
AFC, man. I would love to be in the NFC.
I would love to be in the NFC right now. So, for me, I have to say, if it wasn't for COVID, I would say the Browns. I truly would.
But
I don't know how many of these players are vaccinated, so vaccinated means a big thing because if you can recover before game day,
that means a lot.
That means a lot because that means you're going to be able to come back and play. I do not know the full extent of who's vaccinated and who isn't there in Cleveland. I think it's going to be the Bengals.
It's a little bold.
It is bold. But the Bengals have gone out a hard part of their schedule.
Oh.
But they do have a couple of hard opponents. The only reason why I give it to them is right now they have the tiebreaker over the Ravens. I think that they take that tiebreaker over Cleveland. They take it right back, even it out. When they go into Cleveland and beat them, I see that happening. I also see happening is that the fact that they already have the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh. Those tiebreakers are going to play a huge part. They're going to play a huge part.
Not the Pittsburgh one, but yeah.
Well, of course, because I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be in it too much. But those tiebreakers are huge. I see that being the big catalyst as to why Cincinnati will end up winning this division. I do believe this, though. Whoever wins this division is going to have 7 losses or more. They're not going to have a great record. And I do expect them to be the 4 seed. The winner of the AFC North will be the 4 seed.
This is very crazy. This year, like,
crazy.
I've never seen anything like it.
And it's just a tough schedule. It's not so much that they're bad teams. It's just that their strength of schedule is extremely tough.
This is like the first year where I haven't seen a team just be at the top, take the top, and not give away the top.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys.
Sorry. I got a phone call. Either way. Okay. So that kind of concludes what we think of the AFC North at the current moment. I guess we'll talk a little bit more about the games that are coming up this week. But here we go. This is the fun one. I like this one. I don't know about you, but I really like this one. The Raiders went into Kansas City, and if you don't know, but pre-game, the Raiders tried to get themselves pumped up, so they stood on Kansas City's midfield marker. Cool. You know, the Tennessee Titans did it last year, and they backed it up. You know, they were able to get a win. I thought, you know, means the Raiders are going to come out with some...
We went out there, and we went to the Chiefs, and we...
That's a little...
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes. You want to do some TikToks? You like that, huh?
Do you know?
What happened?
You guys lost 48-9.
You said what?
48-9. Just so you know, the first play of the game for each team was a fumble. A fumble by Josh Jacobs, recovered by Mike Hughes, returned for a touchdown. And that pretty much let people know. That pretty much let people know how this game was going to go from the beginning.
Guys, this is what I gotta say. Last year, we gave the Chiefs trouble.
Yeah, right for them.
They struggled against us, right? This year, they struggled against everybody else. But when it came time for the Raiders,
they played their best games of the season.
We're the teams that have made the Chiefs look amazing. Make them look like they're going to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
And because of us, that's why they're good again.
Patrick Mahomes, 20 of 24 passing, 258 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Didn't even have to play after the second half. This is the thing I'm gonna say because I woke up a little late that morning, right?
Okay.
So it was around second quarter, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn on the Raider game. Look on Twitter, they say, oh yeah, the Raiders they were standing in front of on the logo, and now the score's 35-0 at halftime. What? What do you mean? I thought it was gonna be like, oh, maybe 14-0, 14-3. No. Yeah. So what that tells me,
points
in one half.
One half.
So what that tells me is that the Raiders did not come to play. It's not even about the first game. Yeah, you might look at the score and be like, oh, well, they were getting dominated. There were points in the game where we could have switched the momentum.
And they just failed to capitalize. But they played hard in the
played. They actually tried.
The energy, it was sloppy. It didn't feel like they were fully in it. And I don't know if it's, maybe just because of the problems that they've had all season, finally kind of melting up with the mentality of the team. But this team does not look ready to win.
I want to see you go out there and kill somebody. We got rookies who are actually complaining about the effort that our team puts in.
And
that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So, listen, what I've heard, I did a little research after the game because, I want a new head coach. Because Rich Bisaccia don't like to yell at nobody. He just sees people
he's an interim head coach.
Like, man,
you shouldn't stick with interim head coaches.
If your player just sells the game, can you slap him or something? Tell him that you're stupid and you suck?
That sounds like Urban Meyer right there.
I don't know. But you need to yell at your players. If you just sit there and let them be trash, they're going to continue to be trash. So that's the first thing. Now, also coming into this next game, I've heard reports that Marcus Mariota might be in there a little more because Derek Carr has not been playing too well. So, if that does happen, we 100% are going to be getting rid of Derek Carr. If you see Marcus Mariota more, don't expect Derek Carr next year.
That makes sense. And that makes sense. And we were talking about that, thinking it's finally time to kind of move on with Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. And it's not even so much that Derek Carr is bad. It's just you need a new face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need a new energy to bring into that locker room because right now it is dead.
Very dead.
It is dead right now in that locker room. And the Raiders are going to miss the playoffs again.
Huh?
Don't do it.
Huh?
Don't do it.
Listen, I already told you about the Browns. Then we got the Colts, who are a hard team. We have the Chargers, and I believe the Broncos.
Do you expect yourself?
No, Broncos.
Do you expect yourself to win 2 of those games?
Broncos and Browns could definitely happen. Chargers and the Colts are the 2 games where I'm like, damn.
Here's the one thing I'm going to say then. Those 2 losses right there put you at...
We're last in the division, but the entire division everybody is close.
It puts you at 8-9 though. Do you think you make the playoffs with a losing record?
8-9?
8-9.
I didn't say we're going 2-2. That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
4-0.
Travis, stop.
Watch it happen, guys. Watch the team rally together.
Stop.
If we don't take this dub this week, I'm not talking about the Raiders anymore. But
Stop.
We take this dub this week. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, man. I trust in you. Get the job.
Let's talk about a team that has been executing later in the season, doing the opposite of the Raiders, starting off slow and actually winning when it matters. The 49ers now just beat the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati, 26-23. Jimmy Garoppolo played his best game of the season, 296 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. and 7 for 7 on his overtime game-winning drive, which was actually, I have to say too, probably the best game-winning drive of Jimmy Garoppolo's career as a Niner. The reason why I say this is because maybe
he impacted it.
He did. And he actually finally made a deep pass outside the numbers to Jawan Jennings, which was a big play.
Who?
Jawan Jennings. He's actually turned into a great number 3 receiver. He's not a speedster, but he's a 6'3" receiver with sure hands, which is kind of what you might need for a 6'3" receiver, and a number 3 option. Then you have George Kittle, who the Niners finally realized is actually one of the best tight ends in the league and started using him.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk finally realized that he is actually a great talent that can be utilized in many fashions of the game, and won the game with the game winner. And Deebo Samuel. One thing I have to say about the Deebo Samuel thing. They're using him great at the running back spot, but I feel like they're using him too much there.
He's just a utility player.
Of course, I get that, but he was doing great as a receiver as well.
Yeah.
I want to see him start being used more as a receiver like he was early in the season. They seem to move away from that.
They just give him the ball.
I do like that. That's what Shanahan needs to do with all his players, and I'm glad I'm seeing that with Deebo Samuel. On the other hand, the Bengals actually played a good game. Despite 2 muffed punts that the Bengals had, Joe Burrow passing for 348 yards and 2 touchdowns really kind of shows what the 49ers' main problem is. Which we know. We know it. Once Jason
DBs, man.
Once Jason Verrett went down, and now we don't have Emmanuel Mosley either. It's not good. It's not good. That's the Niners' weakness. That's going to be that might be the reason that the Niners get eliminated in their playoff game, whoever they play. Because the Niners are either going to think about this. They're either going to play the Bucks, the Packers, or probably the winner of the NFC West.
Yeah, it's very this season. There are a lot of teams that have shown a little more consistency than the Niners have. But in the end of the season, Niners have been looking pretty well.
Here's the thing. In the end, none of that matters when you get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But do I think this Niners team is primed to make a run? I have not seen it yet. No. I haven't seen a game where they're clicking on all cylinders. Actually, I say that wrong. The Rams game. My bad. They were clicking on all cylinders in that Rams Monday Night Football game.
They were.
But
it could have also been just the Rams, too. That game.
Yeah, a little bit, definitely. But we also haven't seen that again. We haven't seen that again. Even in this one, there are many plays that just fell off, out of sync. Play calling was off in some moments. In the end, we were horrible on 3rd down conversions this game. But we came through when it matters. And it's kind of good to get a win like this for a team. It boosts their confidence, knowing that they're able to win a solid team. Yeah, and knowing they're able to win close games.
Yeah.
Right?
Overtime.
It's good to win those games, but I want to see that Rams-Niners team again.
Joe Burrow. Also, I got to say this. Joe Burrow, you got to finish. They had the ball.
They did.
You got to finish. In these rules, all you got to do is score a touchdown. You win the game.
Can I use this as an excuse to really just bash how I hate the overtime rules?
You guys could have lost the game without even getting the ball.
Exactly. And I feel like it doesn't do good for the game's entertainment. You know what I mean?
You want to see both teams get the ball.
Especially if there's a shootout and it feels like both teams offensively are on fire.
I like the college rules.
I like the college rules too. And maybe you don't want to do it where you start from the 25. Fine. Maybe do it like at the 50 or even your own 45. Give both teams good field position and see what they do with it.
They can't score. Hey, you don't deserve to win.
Exactly. All right. Next game. Buffalo versus Tampa Bay. Now, here we go again. We talked about what the Bills' issues were last week. Anything to do with running.
And you seen Leonard Fournette been going crazy.
Yes, Leonard Fournette, 19 carries, 113 yards rushing, and a touchdown, breaking off for a 50-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that's about right.
But here's the thing, too. Buffalo finally allowed their first 300-yard passer on this secondary. Now, I know why. And it shows that they're missing...
Tom Brady's in.
Well, actually, I can't argue with that.
I was gonna say Tom
I can't
Brady
argue with
just-
that.
he
I
showed
cannot
it
argue.
to me.
In
He
the
was
end, here's the
MVP.
thing. I feel like Tom Brady might get the treatment that LeBron James gets, which
Can't
is
get it.
you could make an argument that he gets MVP every year, but just because it's LeBron James and just because it's Tom Brady, they might not give it to him. Just saying that's a possibility. So that's one point. But the second point is the Bills are missing Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White, he got taken out for the rest of the season.
He's their best player.
He was their best DB, and he's out for the season. So obviously his presence is missed. And the other issue is just the run offense for the Bills.
Why is Josh Allen
awful.
running for over 100 yards? Why?
Awful.
You tell me.
Here's my problem. Why are they not attempting any rushes?
Because
It's the play calling.
they know.
Whoa! But 4 carries for Devin Singletary? Devin Singletary actually did 4 carries for 52 yards. That's averaging 13 yards a carry.
No, we don't want to run the ball though.
They didn't run the ball a single time in the first half. I'm starting to realize too that it isn't just the run game, it's the play calling. They need to look at their offensive coordinator and really look themselves in the mirror about what they're doing.
They
Because
also
here's
have
the
a
thing.
bad O-line too.
They do. It's bad, and I get that. But you got to try your best to establish the run game. Try to establish a force.
The defense honest.
Yes.
If they just know that they can have 3 dudes on the line.
And they pin their ears back, they're able to stop them. And yes, of course, I know Buffalo came back and all that, but I felt that was more on Tampa Bay than it was for Buffalo.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, I felt like Tampa Bay kind of started slacking off a little bit. They did have, I think it was a point where it was like 27-6, 27-3. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was a bad.
I just have to say on the Bills side, yes, all you want to do is pass the ball, right? Where are you at, Stephon Diggs? Where are you at? Did your brother take all your talent this year? Or what happened? Because I haven't seen anything this year. You're not a top receiver anymore.
Yeah, John.
The way that you've been playing this whole year, you got to go.
No, I wouldn't say.
We're going to
he's
put you
gotta
down
go.
a couple notches. You're not in the top 5. You can't be there no more.
I mean, 7 receptions for 74 yards isn't horrible, but
he hasn't gone off this year.
To your argument, that's not what we expect from Stephon Diggs, especially at this point in his career where he was being talked about as a top 5. So Buffalo needs to look at themselves in the mirror. I know they have a bounce back game this week, but Buffalo really need, because they got the Patriots coming up too.
Yep, it's over.
And things can start getting scary for them. Where now they're sitting at 7-6, and we could be looking at a possibility where the Bills don't even make the playoffs. Ooh. After making the AFC Championship last year and looking like everything was going up from that point.
Honestly, I don't want them to make the playoffs because I feel like Tre'Davious White is so viable, so reliable for this team. Like, they need him. Because whoever their backup corner is, you know Teron Johnson, he doesn't even catch balls when it comes to his face. Mm-hmm. You've seen him in the combine.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Here's the one thing I'm going to say, though, about this AFC. Like, even if the Bills make it in at the 7th seed, I'm looking at who they could possibly play, and I'm not going to be so certain that it's like they're eliminated. Unless they face a team like New England or Kansas City. Because look at who's sitting at the 2 seed right now. The Tennessee Titans.
But they will get there.
They will get there. Great point. My bad. I forgot. And now we've seen how bad the Bills are handling the rushing game right now. Then you tell me.
And you know what Derrick Henry does to the Bills consistently.
So
all his greatest plays of his entire career are against the Buffalo Bills.
Or the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just those 2 teams. Yeah, actually, great point. Yeah. Never mind. I'm actually very scared for Buffalo. I'm actually very scared for Buffalo. We'll see how that turns out for them at the end of the year. The last game, Monday Night Football, gave us something interesting. This has shaken up the NFC.
Oh, damn.
Big time. Because the Rams just beat the Cardinals in Arizona. Matthew Stafford played a great game, finally. Finally getting back to that, what he looked like the MVP form at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. 287 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns. All to 3 different receivers. Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, and OBJ was now caught 3 touchdown passes. And he wasn't even able to get that many.
He didn't even catch one in his first game on the Rams, I believe.
No.
And ever since then, And I think a great thing that happened in this game, I think it's always cool. I just like talking about these small little stories. But Van Jefferson's dad, is a Cardinals wide receiver coach. I would be pissed off if I just watched my son
awkward Christmas dinner
just destroy us, and now we lost the game.
Yeah. Kyler Murray played his worst game of the season and kind of almost removed himself.
So I said Tom Brady's the MVP.
From the MVP talk. Kyler Murray was the MVP favorite early on in the season. Heavy favorite, might I say. He threw for 383 yards, which, when you hear that, sounds good. But 2 interceptions.
Ooh.
And it was 2 bad interceptions.
They were pretty bad, too.
One in the goal line when they were driving. And the other one was he tried to fit it over Leonard Floyd. He underestimated how athletic he was. And he gave the Rams great field position to score a touchdown.
Yeah. I think that the Cardinals are very rusty because they have not had Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins for a good amount of time. It's been like 3 or 4 games.
And now they won't have DeAndre Hopkins for a little.
And now he's going to be out for a while.
Until apparently the rumor is he's going to be out for the whole rest of the regular season, and they hope to get him back by the playoffs, which sucks because of the fact that the Cardinals don't hold that number 1 seed anymore. They don't hold the bye.
Nope.
You know who does? The bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers, took it right back.
Man.
And not only that, the Cardinals dropped down from the 2 seed to the 3 seed because Tampa Bay holds a tiebreaker over them.
Man, so honestly, the Cardinals, this is my biggest issue. Jalen Ramsey did not play.
They should have had a field
Jalen Ramsey did not play. So there's no reason why you have 2 interceptions.
And you had DeAndre Hopkins, and you have AJ Green finally played.
AJ Green stepped up.
Yeah, 7 receptions, 102 yards for AJ Green with some great catches. And Kyler Murray was just overthrowing a lot of passes. He fell out of sync. He didn't seem as poised as he's been all season long.
You need to just feed D-Hop. D-Hop is not getting locked this game.
And the thing is, though, DeAndre Hopkins caught a big slant pass, dropped a big slant pass that could have been huge for this team. The whole game just felt off for the Cardinals, but the reason why that concerns me is because you can't be having those type of games. You can't consider yourself the best team in the league and have games like that.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And especially because I'm worried about this Cardinals team because when they come into the playoffs this year, they will make the playoffs, don't get that wrong. I know they didn't clinch a playoff spot technically this week, but they are making the playoffs. Said move. My thing said move. Sorry, my Garmin watch says that I need to move around and get exercising. As I was saying, alright, sorry. As I was saying though, you alright? Okay, as I was saying, the reason why I'm scared for this Cardinals team though is because they're going to go into the playoffs with 0 playoff experience. They're a young team, right? It's going to be the first time, and we've seen how young teams, no matter how good, can fold. The Ravens are a perfect example early in Lamar Jackson's career, those first 2 games, especially the year where they're 14-2, right? And we've seen a young Ravens team. You know, they had a couple veterans here and there, but in the end they were still a young team. They come out and they lose in that first playoff game, right? And they look good all season, but in the end it's a different feeling when you get to the playoffs because
everything matters.
Everything matters, and the teams play at such a high level of intensity. So I'm scared for this Cardinals team. On the other hand, the Rams, I want to see a little. I
do think they are a little struggling still. They're not where they should be.
No,
but
I want to see.
This could get it a little rolling. You can see it like what happened with the Chiefs.
This is a win that you need.
This could get them in the right pace, and they might become unstoppable next week.
And then we'll see how they do once that happens. All right, let's move on to Week 15. This is actually going to be a great week of football. From what it looks like on paper, this should be a good week of football. And it starts
no more bye weeks, guys.
And it starts off with a game of the week, possibly game of the year contender. The Chiefs versus the Chargers on Thursday Night Football in LA, which means it's a home game for Kansas City. So, who do you have taking this one on Thursday night?
Guys, Justin Herbert
has played great.
But we did see him against the Steelers, I believe.
No. He played great against the Steelers.
End of the game. End of the game. I do see Justin Herbert come in sometimes. Patrick Mahomes, last couple games.
It's been good. Yeah.
But before that, he been. So, it depends on which quarterback doesn't want to have a slump. I got the Chiefs, though, because I think that their offense is way more unstoppable compared to the Chargers.
And I have to agree with you because I also think just the Chiefs are they're probably the most confident they've been all season right now.
Oh yeah.
At this point, their win streak is, I think it's getting up to, weren't they 4-4?
Yeah.
So they're up to a 5-game win streak now.
They're not going to lose the rest of the season.
And they just decimated the Raiders in their home right now.
Yeah,
they probably feel as good as they ever felt.
We had backup players from the Chiefs tweeting about us.
Yeah.
Backup players because they were playing a lot of the game.
That's funny. Okay, next one. Next one. Raiders versus Browns. Now this is interesting because of the COVID situation. Baker Mayfield got diagnosed with COVID-19. So did Kevin Stefanski again.
Yeah, and they don't have Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Willis, Jarvis Landry, and I believe Jadeveon Clowney as well.
Yeah.
So they're missing a lot of players. So this is what I'm going to tell you right now, Las Vegas. If you silver and black people do not go over there and at least just win the game, I'm never talking about you again. Okay. I'm never talking about you.
Okay.
Yeah, they have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt still.
Yeah.
And we struggle against the run. I'm going with my Raiders.
I'm going to have to go with the Raiders too. And it's only, just think about this.
Only!
Just so you don't get too excited, I'm only going with you guys because of the COVID situation happening in Cleveland. If it was any different, I'd go with the Browns.
But it's not different. So Dro says the Raiders are the best team in the league.
I did not
That's
say
the
that.
headline,
I did
guys.
not say that. Next one. This is my game of the week. And this is also where I put in my bold guarantee. Patriots versus the Colts. In Indianapolis. Travis, what have I said about the Colts all season long?
They're better than their record shows.
You could not have said it any more perfectly. Colts for a guaranteed lock.
Well, guess what? I got the Patriots as a guaranteed lock.
Remember what I said? I said New England's going to win they're going to lose one more game this season.
And this is the game.
This is the game. This is the game that they lose. I think the Patriots win out after this. But the Colts are now sitting at the 6th seed.
No.
I think the Colts do not want to give this shot away.
No.
I don't see them giving it away. I see the Colts beating the Patriots at home.
The reason why I'm gonna disagree with Dro is because I believe that Jonathan Taylor is not going to be able to carry this offense, and it's going to be Carson Wentz who has to step up. And J.C. Jackson got a lot to say about that.
Carson Wentz has played.
I don't care about Carson Wentz.
Okay, fine. Next one. I think we know this could be a bounce back game. Panthers versus Bills in Buffalo.
Bills.
They need this though. They need this win.
The Panthers,
so badly.
You got to beat Cam Newton, man. Or whoever they got playing at quarterback this week.
They need this win so badly. Next one. Cardinals versus Lions. Another bounce back game. I have the Cardinals.
I got the Lions.
Nice.
I got the
Cardinals. Jets versus Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins are on a win streak right now. I wanted to mention that. Just so you know. Since Miami has played Baltimore. Just look at this.
Baltimore.
Just look at this. Where is it? So they lost to the Falcons. Right here. Starting here. Since they beat the Texans, where they were sitting at 2-7, they are now 6-7. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. And now they play the Jets. Dolphins is a lock for me. As a lock for me. And the Dolphins are going to even out with the Raiders. Look at that. They're right there with you guys.
Anyways, guys, the Dolphins are going to win this game.
The Dolphins actually look like a team that's on fire right now. It could be very interesting how they could shake up the playoff picture. I don't think they make it, but I do think the Dolphins can.
They can
They could be a spoiler. This team could be a spoiler right now the way they're playing. Cowboys versus Giants.
I'm going with the Giants.
Nice.
That's a lock.
Okay. That means he's going with the Cowboys as a lock.
Not that as a lock.
But just the Cowboys.
We'll go with the Cowboys.
Okay. Washington versus the Eagles. Now, this is interesting because Washington's been on a win streak.
Don't care.
Neither do I.
I'm going
Are
with the
you
Eagles.
okay? Cool, because that's who I'm going with too.
Yeah.
Especially with who knows what happened with Taylor Heineke if he comes back, as well as Terry McLaurin,
Ooh.
which is a big one. Titans versus Steelers.
Steelers.
Now I know there's no Derrick Henry. I know the Titans haven't been playing too great because of that.
But the Steelers suck.
And
So
I have to go
with
Titans too. Next one. Oh, this is a good one. This is the game of the week right here. We got the Texans versus the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Now we could briefly just talk about this very quickly. Urban Meyer is I think he's a fan of John Gruden. They remind me of each other. He just got fired.
Thank the heavens, Jacksonville. You should start a parade. Praise the Lord. He is gone.
The only reason that he's gone is because he kicked his kicker. Of all people to kick, why would you kick the person who needs their leg the most?
Here's my problem too, though. Why did it take so long? With every report and everything that has happened with Urban Meyer.
He's going to clubs.
It doesn't seem like he's really that passionate. Why did it take this long to get rid of him?
After going 2-11. So there's no way that the Jaguars are ready to win this game, I believe. So I'm going to go with the Texans.
I think I've seen this before. When teams lose their coach, they play at a higher level, a little more motivated. We've seen this before. I have to say Jaguars this one. I have to. Next one, Bengals versus Broncos.
Bengals.
This is a big one for both teams because this can either put you in or out of playoff contention at this point in the season. I have to go Bengals though.
Definitely the Bengals.
Definitely Bengals. Falcons versus the 49ers in San Francisco.
Man.
Or in Levi Stadium.
Calvin Ridley's going to go crazy.
It's not even.
Julio Jones going to go.
Julio's not there either.
All right. Michael Vick.
Oh, whoa. That's like.
49ers are going to win this game.
Yeah, I got the Niners too. I have confidence in my Niners to win this game. I do have to say, though, I want to see you dominate the Falcons. We can't just slip by the Falcons because any team can slip by the Falcons. Prove a point. Make a statement this game. I guess we'll see, though. Seahawks versus Rams.
Rams as a lock because the Seahawks only care about the 49ers.
That's a good one. I have the Rams. Not as a lock, though, because I saved my lock for this game. Packers versus Ravens. Now, here's my thing. We don't know, again, if Lamar Jackson's going to play. And it's in Baltimore. But here's what I want to say about this. It doesn't matter if they have Lamar Jackson or if they don't. The Packers are winning this game.
Oh, it's like that?
It's like that. The Packers are at the 1 seed. I don't see the Packers at any point losing that 1 seed. I got Green Bay.
I got Green Bay as well. Not as a lock.
But
because I do think if Lamar Jackson does play, he's going to give him a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
When does Bakhtiari come back?
David Bakhtiari? He's practicing again, so it probably won't be this week, though. I'd say next week, maybe.
Okay.
If at the earliest.
Well, yeah, if he was playing, I would put them as a lock. But
because he is a big asset. And they're still going to get Jair Alexander and Zadarius Smith back at some point, too. Saints versus Bucks.
This is my other lock.
Buccaneers.
That's Saints.
Yeah. Buccaneers. Taysom Hill's not going to do anything.
No. He's a terrible quarterback.
I really think he's not worth that money either.
People always thought that Taysom Hill was going to be like this great quarterback eventually. You have to realize Taysom Hill is not young.
No, he's not. Isn't he close to his 30s?
Like 30. Yeah, he's like 29, 30.
So all you little Saints fans, I bet you miss Jameis Winston, don't you? You didn't appreciate him while he was there, huh? Because now look at you. Here's the thing. It's sad for the Saints because the Saints would be a playoff team had it not been for the Jameis injury. Vikings versus Bears Monday night. Now the Vikings, we saw them in the Steelers Thursday Night Football game. They almost lost that game because the Vikings, again, just find ways to lose.
They could have beat the 49ers.
They could have beat
find ways to lose.
They find ways to lose. Do they find a way to lose this Bears game, or do they finally... Now, Kirk Cousins' kryptonite ever since he's been in Minnesota seemed to be the Bears.
But the Bears have... I don't know what happened. They looked like a scary team when Khalil Mack first got there. Like, it was like, ooh.
Well, Matt Nagy happened.
They have a good safety. His quarterback play is a little suspect right now.
But it's a rookie. And he's showing promise. Fields is showing promise, of course, but he's not out there lighting it up.
I just want to have a little slightly bold prediction. I'm going to say that Patrick Peterson gets interception in this game.
We're at the point of his career now where that's bold.
Yeah, it's kind of bold to say. He's not that good anymore. But, I just want to say, Patrick Peterson, I haven't seen you that much this year, and I hope that you show up in this game.
Okay. So you have the Vikings.
I have the Vikings.
So do I. All right. That's good. So we're pretty much actually similar this week. It should be a good week of football. It's going to be my most anticipated.